Alrighty. It's a little bit late for this weekly reading that I wanted to do on Monday, but literally my live on Monday was not working. And whenever things like that happen, I take it as a sign from a higher power that it's not meant to happen. And then I was supposed to go live on Tuesday and it just yeah, it wasn't working out either, and I was like, "Oh my god, okay, I'm just gonna surrender. I'm gonna surrender and trust that, you know, this message is supposed to come out whenever it's supposed to come out," and, clearly, today's the day. Again, I know it's a little late, and it's like we had 2 days, and we're on to the 3rd one of, the start of the week. But, I mean, if anything, you could treat this as a confirmation to whatever you have been feeling, the last couple of days, because 'cause it's been intense, guys. It really I don't 2025 in a nutshell has been intense. I know for a lot of people. Again, it is the year of change, rebirth, and there's a lot of letting go that needs to happen, you know, with this kind of a year, which it has been like that for a lot of people. So anyway, let's concentrate on this week. I do have my notes here. So again, if I'm looking down, that's because of that. Yeah, it's been I'm curious if it's been intense for you guys in the beginning of the week, because I feel like it has for me, and then just a lot of other people as well that I've talked to. It's been kind of like a heavy, energetic week, and what was interesting is when I was tuning into this week, it did talk a lot about, like, shadows, feelings, subconscious kind of thoughts coming up within you, and again, these things, guys, only come up so that they can be looked at, they can be alchemized, and they can be rebalanced, right? And so that you can really take a look at these things and be like, "Okay, do I want these things, or why is this coming up in me?" Um, am I dealing with a particular situation that I need to look more deeply at and see why it's coming up? Like, what am I dealing with? Why is it here? Is there still something in me that needs to see something clear so that I can alchemize it and not deal with it in like the future, right? So there's been a lot of that. I also feel like it's a lot of like looking back at the past as well and just reminiscing, but not in like a man, I miss that. It's almost like you're just revisiting the past and wondering like, okay, what have I learned? Look how far I've come. Is there something I could have done better? There's a little bit of that which can have a shadow to it, but just it's all about just rebalancing that within you, right? So this week is a lot about taking care of yourself and self-nurturance because of these thoughts, emotions, these heavy, dense feelings coming up. It's really good to go within hermit mode, introspect, and take care of yourself. I know for me, that is something actually that I've been doing. And like coming back from a trip, I've just realized that it was like an initiation portal where I was releasing a lot at a subconscious level that I wasn't even aware of, and so when I came back home, I was doing a lot of, like, introspection. Even, like, subconsciously, it was like a feeling of not wanting to go out, not wanting to really connect with others, more like I need to restore myself, rebalance myself, and integrate whatever, like, I tapped into that place, and so I've actually also noticed that I have been actually taking care a lot more care of myself, a lot of self-care, a lot of self-love, which means, like, for me, it's like I had to, like, kind of push a reset on my diet. That's just, like, one of the things that I do as a self-care thing, as a love for this temple, is, like, clean eating. I even, like, stopped coffee for a little bit because when I was on my trip, I love going to cafes and sitting, like, that's a thing I truly enjoy, but I can feel my body's like, "Okay, we're integrating now." All the things that need to be integrated and, like, the frequency that I was tapping into, and so I was just allowing myself, like, "Okay, like, rest, I don't need to drink coffee for the next couple of days, I can let my body reset." And just be gentle on it, and then also, like, doing, hair masks or, face masks and, like, just really like, self-nurturing, so you could be doing that as well this week. Um, the next point is creativity. Like, creativity has really been coming up, and I don't know if this started at the end of August, but definitely in the beginning of September for sure. Creativity has been coming up, and I do think this is such a beautiful thing because this really is us coming back into our divine feminine energies. The divine feminine is naturally creative. She plays with that energy. She flows, and the masculine is the one that puts it into, like, fruition, right? So that's how both of those energies balance out. She imagines, she creates, and the masculine makes it so. And so a lot of you are stepping into that. You're playing with your creativity. You're playing with that divine feminine energy within you, and so a lot of you are reactivating this creative energy within you, which, let me tell you, it's beautiful to see because I have been seeing a lot more people step into their creative side and, like, come back into that and that they're starting to create. And I'm just like, whenever I look at this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it's so beautiful. Like, creativity is meant to be, like, gifted out to this world, and it's like you're putting a piece of that beauty back into this world, and it's like, oh, it's so, so beautiful and so needed, and I do think this is why a lot of us are coming back into being creative and, doing the things that we really love. And a lot, like, the creativity, obviously you can be creative in any way, shape, or form, but what it really wanted to focus on, and this could be because, like, I literally could be talking to a person who really loves to paint or make jewelry or, ceramics, pottery, and drawing. Those felt, like, very highly charged and resonant, so this could be just a confirmation for you that, like, yes, you're stepping into that and continue to do that because it was also making me feel like this creativity is actually, and I've been saying this for a while, guys. This creativity is actually connected to, the solid foundation and structure and security that you are creating, that you are wanting to create. And it's like you might be looking at all the wrong places or all the old kind of places of what used to bring you security and, stability. But now it's like, mm-mm, that fell away for a reason, and that fell away because you're meant to create that security and stability through something else, and it's through your own expression of being creative. So a lot of you are stepping into that. A lot of you are starting to dabble in that and starting to wonder, like, how can I make this into a thing? Because I am starting to enjoy being creative. And you're just kind of playing with it and you're trying to see how That will work, and just keep doing that. Keep doing that because that will get you to where you need to be. Um, Also the theme of rebalancing the masculine and feminine energies. So a lot of us have been like just purging the unhealthy dynamics of both polarities because obviously both have a shadow side and both have a light side. And so because a lot of you have been doing a lot of work with the feminine and masculine polarities within you and rebalancing that, you could be just revisiting some of the old things that like you used to do or you used to accept from other people, and now it's like it's coming back for you to really step forward in this new energy that you are cultivating within yourself, and you're like, "No, no more. I'm not entertaining this. I'm prioritizing myself. I'm standing up for myself. I'm setting up boundaries. I'm no longer, people pleasing." And so there could be an element of that this week or the last couple of weeks that you have been dealing with. Like, let's just say it's a person, and let's say it's something that, like, you used to always, like, contort yourself and make things work and just kind of abandon yourself. It's like now you're stepping into your inner authority, and it comes from a place of self-love, you know what I mean? So it's not like anything mean, it's just like there's an opportunity that comes for you to, like, really reclaim yourself, and you'd be like, "Nope, I'm not allowing this in. I'm not entertaining this. This is my boundary, and that's that." And that's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, that there's a theme of that this week. Some and I feel like this energy was very, like, charged in the beginning of this week, but you could also be still be feeling it. It really just depends, right? We all process, these things differently. But some of you may feel lost, confused, shaken up, and tired. But this is all just connected to clearing out distortions within and just being upgraded energetically, which is something I've mentioned in the beginning. Like, all the shadows coming up within you, just so you can, again, like, the healing, guys, is cyclical. We will revisit things time and time again so that we can be like, okay, does this resonate? Am I still playing into this, right? Or is this just coming up for me to look at and be like, yeah, no, I've dealt with this, right? But again, it's because you're being upgraded energetically. So there could be this feeling of like, I'm really tired. All these things are coming up in me. Um, I'm being upgraded energetically. Like, give yourself grace for that. And that's what I mean with like, take care of yourself, self love, self care, self nurturance for this week. Because that's how you will upgrade those energies like much faster and you'll feel better. Um Also careful not to step into the energy of fear, greed, anxiety too long because I get with the like the shadow sides, the subconscious things that come up in us, I get that it can lead to thoughts of like the anxiety, the worry of like, oh my gosh, I've been applying to so many jobs and I can't find anything. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I get that can spiral you into this worrisome feeling. And I get that. That's normal. But the thing is, like, don't stay too long in those emotions, right? And this is not about avoiding them because you can feel something, recognize it, and then let it pass, right? Emotions are just like the weather. They're not meant to stay in like that one state forever. They're meant to move and flow into, something else. So it's like, yes, recognize those feelings that are coming up in you. Yes, it makes sense, but ultimately remind yourself of where you are, that you're safe, that you have more than enough in this current moment, and that you're headed down the right way, and just like alchemize those feelings because staying in those feelings for too long can actually result in you losing something in the physical, right? Just because when you're vibrating at that level of being worried, about being anxious, about like, "Oh no, how am I gonna make things work? I don't know how this is gonna, blah, 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 blah." If you stay in that way too long, it's like the divine has no other, like, choice but to it's like, "Okay, if you wanna stay in the worried feeling, then let's give you something to worry about," right? So, just be mindful of that. Again, this is not about avoidance, this is just about recognizing what comes up in you, seeing it, sitting with it, alchemizing it, and ultimately realizing that you are safe in this current moment, right? And letting that move through you. Like, basically focus on what you have and be grateful, right? Because when you're grateful, you attract more of that into you. Um, but also connected with that, it's like your spiritual team, your higher self wants you to know that though in the midst of all this confusion and chaos and dense kind of energy, you're still on the right path and you are protected. And like, you are walking the right path, and it might be slow, but like, things are unfolding as they should, and you're still stepping through ahead. So just make sure to keep this week and this time and this energy light, and make sure you can have fun in whatever way, shape, or form that is. And that could be connected to your creativity. So it's like when you're feeling all that, yes, feel it, be with it, alchemize it, be grateful, and then be creative. Be creative. Use your talents, use your gifts. Like, I really feel for a lot of you, this is your path. This is your path. This is your path to stability. This is your path to success and security. Stay with that. Like, even like transmute those dense and heavy emotions through your creativity. Because a lot of the time, like, the most beautiful pieces of art that we can make, whatever that is for you, is through alchemizing those emotions, right? So, yeah, the next point is connecting deeply with yourself, as that will help your creativity with like different ideas, downloads that can come to you that are also connected to your foundation and security, and like a new business idea. Again, like I said, guys, a lot of this is connected to creativity and alchemizing the things that are coming up within you. And I think I just have one last point. So, the last thing for a lot of you that you could be dealing with this week is dismantling old dynamics and subconscious feelings, which is aligning you to a new and healthy love. So again, this is actually connected with your rebalancing of the feminine and masculine energies within you. Again, I mentioned it earlier. And things are coming up in your world just so you can see it, just so you can be like, do I still accept this? And to tell you the truth, guys, like, this is actually something I have dealt with the last 2 weeks. There was something that came up, not it wasn't, like, in a romantic sense, but it was, like, it was through a masculine, and it came up, and I was like, "Oh, interesting." And the old part of me, like an old version of myself that wasn't balanced in my feminine, masculine energies, she would have, like, acted differently, she would have overtook a lot of things and stepped up, and it would have been, like, more in my distorted masculine energy, and this thing came up, and I was like, "Huh, interesting." I recognize it, but because I've been really cultivating my feminine energies, my feminine was like, "No, no, 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 no. This is not my place. I'm here to help with whatever I was helping, but I'm not here to lead, because this wasn't like my project, right? And I was like, no, 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 I'm not here to do that. And like there were certain like things that came up where I had to prioritize my self-care, my boundaries. I had to put my boundaries in place, and it actually felt really good. But I can tell that my old self was like, "Wait, wait, wait, are you sure?" And so something like that can be coming up for you guys where it's like kind of like you're being tested. I don't really believe in tests, but it's like a situation comes up to see it's like, have you really integrated? Have you really upgraded? Or is there still something that needs to be looked at? And so this situation comes in and it's like, are you going to stay true to yourself? Are you going to make sure that you are like well taken care of and that you're placing your boundaries, right? That these boundaries are coming from a place of love and not hate at all, right? But guys, doing this is magnetizing the partner that is totally meant for you, because I know a lot of you have like left relationships that weren't serving, and it's like you've done a lot of work on yourself and you're calling in someone who also has done the work on themselves. But it's like before that person comes in, it's like again, it's kind of like a test, but not a test. Like a person comes in that might look the part, or they might not even look the part. It really just depends person to person, but there'll be a situation that comes in and it's like, are you going to honor your boundaries? Are you going to stay true to yourself? And if you do, it's like, oh, okay. It's like you're telling the field, you're telling the divine, like, I know me, I know what I deserve, and I'm not playing into like these old dynamics and situations anymore. And it's like the divine and the field are like, okay, cool. Like this person has up leveled and they've integrated those lessons. So now we can actually align them with a person who has done the same. So, yeah, that's pretty much for this week. The numbers that were coming up for this week, and again, these could be numbers that, you know, are just confirmation for you or something that you're going to see this week, but I like to include them because numbers have been a huge part in my journey the last year and a half. And I do use them as like a guide that I'm on the right path. So the numbers were 2, 5, 11, and 1. So 2 has all to do with like the balance of the masculine, feminine energies, union, partnerships. 5 has to do with change, freedom, and transformation. 11, intuitive mastery, connection with your higher self and spiritual team, protection. And 1, new beginnings and new cycles. And it's very interesting to see 1 again because 1 was coming up like every single week in the month of September and September itself as a whole. And I think October, I can't remember, I think October as well had 1. And I was like, wow, a lot of you are actually stepping into new new chapters, new beginnings, new cycles. You're really closing the old out and you're stepping into the new. And I know for myself, I I got a huge confirmation that I was stepping into my new cycle. And again, guys, this doesn't mean that you'll always see something right away. It has to happen energetically first. With anything, it has to happen energetically before it happens in the physical. That's just the law. And so again, if you feel like you're still closing things out, that could be the case. That truly could be the case. Everyone's on a different timeline. They're doing things a little bit differently, right? Some are faster than others, and this doesn't mean you're better or not. It just, we're all different. So there's still this energy of new beginnings, new chapters. So just trust whatever falls is meant to fall and it'll only be replaced with something new, something better that's meant for you. The animal archetype that was coming out for this week, and you could be seeing it, or you could just be getting messages and it will include this animal, is the dragon. And the dragon is super, super like tied to spirituality, higher self, higher consciousness, ancient wisdom, and guardianship. And so basically, the message I was getting is that you're divinely protected as you rise into higher levels of awareness and your purpose. So, dragons appear when your power is being reclaimed and you're shifting from striving energy into sovereign creating, like creating what what's in your soul, right? So, resonating with what you're saying. Awesome. I'm glad you're resonating with that, Stefan. Think Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Again, I'm so sorry that this was late, but you gotta trust like the divine. And if something's not meant to go out on a certain time, then it's not meant to go out. And I just had to trust that this was meant to come out a bit later. I guess a lot of you, and I know for myself as well, we've been dealing a lot of like the heaviness in the beginning of the week. And so it's been a lot. But I do feel energetically it's coming down. And there's this like energy of like, love, self-nurturance, take a bubble bath with candles or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, come back, restore yourself, and create. Create, create, create. Because, like I said, for a lot of you, this is tied to your new beginning, to who you are becoming, to what will bring you security, stability, and, like, the finances, you know? Create, because like I said, I'm seeing so many people step into that, and I'm seeing their creations, and I'm in awe. I'm in awe with, like, the beauty that you guys hold and that you gift the world. So, I wanna see more of that. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. I'm sending you so much love. I hope this resonated, and I do wanna do a recorded video because I haven't done one in a while just because 'cause I've been traveling and doing my own energy work and integration. So, but I do think I'll be recording a video today, I think. Alrighty, guys, sending you so much love. Bye.